And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. This is Bill. I'm not on camera tonight. As you can see, we have Miss Brittney Palma and Mr. David Adams as our co-host tonight. I'm in the role of the producer, so Brittney and David are going to do the show tonight, but I want to do the sponsors here real quick before we get going, because obviously we appreciate our sponsors, and without them we wouldn't have a show. So first of all, we want to go to Simply Noted, mixing modern marketing techniques with an old school personal touch. Expand your business footprint by going to simplynoted.com. This is owned by former Arizona Wildcat football player Ricky Elmore, and he will definitely help your business expand your footprint through his various means of social media and a handwritten note. And in this day and age, a handwritten note goes a long ways. You wouldn't believe the success that he's had. Arizona Motor Vehicle Express is 6711 North Thornydale Road, just north of Costco. This is your one-stop shop for anything DMV-wise. I mean, who wants to go to the DMV for 2 hours for a driver's license, for your tags, for a registration? Go here. I've been here 3 times for different things. I think I've spent 20 minutes the longest in there. You're in and out. You give them an extra 10 or 15 bucks. It's worth it. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30. Saturday, 9 to 3. Orange Theory Fitness is our brand new gym sponsor. Your goals, our science, more life. Especially the one at 9170 North Silverbell in the Safeway Shopping Center. Check out Orange Theory Fitness. Tell them 520 Sports Talk sent you. Frog and Firkin, we're glad to be here once again. This is our third time this week, right, David? Yeah, it's our third time this week at Frog and Firkin. We love it. Garrett and Jody, you always lay out the red carpet for us. This is located right in the middle of University Main Gate Square. Voted the best pizza by the Arizona Daily Star, the best outside dining in Tucson, and the best family-owned restaurant. And also the best burger. They're south of the Firkin Border Burger. It's got a green chili and an egg on there. It's really, really good. They won the best burger at the Main Gate Square Food Festival back in April. Sports on TV all day, all night. They've got karaoke on Wednesdays, live music, so something is always happening at the Frog. And I want to just do a quick pan out of our crowd here. There's 45 people that I counted. So Garrett and Jody, once again, we did pack out the house for you on a Thursday night. So thank you very much. Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market and High Wire Lounge at Broadway and Congress on 6th Avenue between Broadway and Congress. A huge selection of sandwiches, burgers, ready-to-eat foods, along with dozens of beverages for the adults and the kids. This is where our show Under the Stars takes place, and we will be there next week, as a matter of fact, so keep an eye on the 520 Sports Talk page. Arizona Native Landscaping and Design, Installation, and Maintenance. Go to ArizonaNativeLandscaping.com or their Facebook page, Arizona Native Landscaping, to check it out. They also have turf, so if you like the green stuff in your backyard without the maintenance of grass, check them out for the turf. It's really a good deal. High Five Sports Grill at Orange Grove and Thornydale. This is our brand new show location in the northwest part of town in Marana. It's going to be the home of the 520 Sports Talk BMX show, and that will be on July 31st. We're really looking forward to it. Just kind of a quick fun fact. Our BMX show at Bianchi's had 3,500 viewers. It's the second most all-time watched show in 520 Sports Talk history. So, well, we love our BMX people. Thank you very much. And Brittney, you want to tell us a little bit about First Heritage Realty and the A to B team?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Brittney Palma, owner and associate broker at First Heritage Realty. On top of helping everyone buy and sell their primary homes, I also work with professionals in order to help them invest and create financial freedom through commercial and real estate properties. So if you're looking to move, please think of me. I support the community. Being a local company, it's important to partner with other local companies.
Thank you very much, and definitely want to move the healthy way. All right, Catalina Auto Recycling. Why buy new when used will do? For all your automotive parts needs, go to CatalinaAutorecycling.com. I have practically my whole car is from Catalina Auto Recycling from the engine down, and I saved a boatload of money because if you really think about it, once you drive that car off the lot, all car parts are used. So So definitely save money. Go to their website. If they cannot get it in town, they will order it and have it here in a couple of days. Arizona Lending Specialist. Help Brittney out when you want your mortgage. Contact Mo, the mortgage lady, at 520-510-6698 for the lowest mortgage rates in Tucson. She's going to beat the Sun Streets, the Novas, and when you're spending a couple $100,000 on a house, it's nice to save $7,000, $8,000 on your mortgage by cutting it a half a percentage point or 3/4 of a percentage point. Jim Miller State Farm. I love my Continental Ranch sponsors. He just moved. He was at Wade in Silverbell. He's now at Coachline in Silverbell next to the Pima Federal Credit Union building. If you don't see his office off the street, look for the red VW and go inside and bug him for a quote. He has auto, life, homeowners, renters, and bank insurance, so anything you need, he will definitely take care of. Teller Trophy, 2 convenient locations to serve you, 6th Avenue and 6th Street, and the 5700 block of East 22nd Street. Tucson's original trophy and award center. Go to tellertrophy.com. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your units are in tip-top shape. Call David Murrieta, 520-648-1755. David called me today and asked me if David Adams had called him yet. So, or you had called him and he hadn't called you back, so I told him to get on the horn and get to it. So, New Stitch Embroidery, located right just north of Pueblo High School, 3114 South 12th Avenue. They do our shirts, our silk screening, our embroidery, and our fabric laser printing. Call them at 520-741-1070 or newstitch.net. And last but not least, David and I's favorite sponsor, Pat's Drive-In on Grande and Niagara in Barrio Hollywood. Best chili dogs in the world. Probably not the healthiest, but they definitely taste good. The good fries, the good burgers. Right now they're on vacation until July 15th, so on July 16th, I made the mistake of going there for lunch the other day and they were closed. But on July 16th, go over there and tell them the 520 Sports Talk sent you. So thank you, sponsors. We really appreciate it because without you, we would not have a show.
Okay, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to start this way. Just say your name, what you specialize in, and then we'll go from there.
That's good. Hi, guys. My name is Jen. I'm actually the promoter and matchmaker.
Jen, do you happen to have a last name by any chance?
Yeah, I happen to. It's Richardson. I'm the promoter at a show called Rise of the Prospects here in Tucson. Our 8th show is coming up here on July 27th. It's a Saturday night. It's at the Rialto Theater right here in downtown Tucson. It's an amazing venue. Really what makes us different is we have kind of a split show. We have about 14 Muay Thai fights, which are stand-up fights. Muay Thai is the national sport of Thailand, so it's kicking, punching, elbows, blood, all the stuff that people want to see. And then the second half of the show is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which is the grappling, chokes, arms, all that stuff. So it's a really exciting show. We started here almost 2 years ago now. I moved here from San Francisco, and I was like, why are we always moving and driving to Phoenix for everything? Tournaments, fights, BMX races. I mean, I'm always in Phoenix. So I realized that not just I'm driving to Phoenix, like all these Tucson gyms are driving to Phoenix. So we decided, like, let's have a show in Tucson. There's probably like at least 20 gyms right here in Tucson. And that's how we started, and it's been a massive success.
Jen, you said you're a promoter for it, but you are also the founder, correct?
Yes.
So
yes.
All right, and your passion behind it. We were just talking, and she wanted to get the community together.
Yeah.
And blend that. So, and I just want to note that there's all women at this table right now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Woo,
Just saying, no matter.
There's not all women at the table. Just so
Who
you
are
know.
being interviewed. So.
And I think, like, honestly, that's part of what makes the show successful. I really work hard at making matches that are good because I always tell my husband, like, I don't want anybody to lose. I'm always like, no, they can't lose. So I'm trying really hard to make even matches, even when it's from my own gym. And I'm really trying to make it fair. And I do have some men on the staff, but the women are the only ones that dare to come up. And these guys are like the backbone of the promotion. So.
Good job, Jen. Hi, I'm Stephanie Keith, and I am the filmmaker. I do all sorts of video production. I have my own company, which is Black Sheep Filmworks. I've been doing this for 25 years. I was lucky enough to start training at Rise about 7 years ago. Actually, my son started training with Chris and Jen 7 years ago. And it's been great ever since then. You know, my son has competed at Rise of the Prospects. We've been there. I've been filming it. I film all of the stuff for the gym. And I don't know of another place where I feel like I have a family, and it's a gym family like I do at Rise. It's a great place.
Nice.
And Rise of the Prospects is a show that is all about community spirit. It's about people, these guys and girls, they train, they eat right, they sacrifice everything for these months coming up to the show. We have fighters here tonight who you guys have this amazing pizza and french fries and beer and all this great food, and they're not eating it. They're having turkey burgers without the bun. So that's the life of a fighter. But they love it. They love the competition. The spirit at the show is amazing. So that's what I do. I get to videotape it and create these cool things afterwards that everybody can watch and and relive those moments.
Nice. And you are?
I am Savannah. I run production for the event.
Savannah, you don't have a last name either?
Nah, I was just going to roll with Savannah.
Okay.
Kind of going for that Madonna vibe.
Okay.
Savannah Kiddos. I run production for the event, so a lot of the cool walkout videos that come up, I do, making sure everything is timed the right way, and overall just make sure it's a cool show.
All right. I like it.
My name's Trudy Wells. I am a fight coordinator in the back. Yes. And I also am miscellaneous, and a little bit of an amateur fighter. I am an amateur fighter. So.
Own it. You do
own
fight.
It. Yes. I do fight. Yes.
So since you're the only fighter that at least announced themselves as a fighter at this table, can you tell us a little bit about what it takes to prepare for a fight?
Dedication. I've learned at this point that losing's okay. You learn from that and you just keep going. You have to have a drive and a passion for it. Like, I'm not always on a card, but I love being in the back. I love my gym. It is my other family. And representing Tucson and showing Phoenix, hey, we're here, guys, come this way. Like, it's great. And being at the historical Rialto is like, it's amazing. I've watched it change so many times over the years. So.
And didn't you win Best Fight?
Yes. September 2018, Fight of the Night. Yay! It was awesome. And being at the Rialto, being a jack of all trades, being there and representing Rise has been really great.
And it's packed.
Yes.
I mean,
it is.
And
I know the Rialto has so many capacities,
sitting.
so it's like, it's really great. I like to, when Phoenix comes down, I'm like, hey guys, welcome to the Rialto.
So I know that there's tickets still left. Do you want to say where they can get it or who?
So you're about to meet some of the athletes. The thing that makes our show unique as well is most shows have about 12 bouts. We have 27 on this next show. So the doors open at 4, first fight is at 5, and it goes till almost 11. So you get your money's worth. All the athletes that you're about to meet do have tickets for sale. You can also get them at ticketfly.com, but we prefer, if you know somebody on the show, that you get it from them because they do get commission, and they work really hard. I want them to make a little money. So ticketfly.com is the option if you don't know anybody. And then our social media, Instagram and Facebook, is Rise of the Prospects Tucson. And you can find out who's on the card if you know somebody. And if you know somebody, get it from them because they do make money off of it. And they're mostly amateurs, so they're not allowed to get paid.
Awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Again, the date and time.
Bring up the eye candy.
Well, let's introduce the eye candy then. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great job. Great job.
Okay, so while we're changing up groups, just a couple of quick notes. Saturday, I will be up in Phoenix, actually in Glendale, for the United Bowl. It's the Indoor Football League's championship game, kind of their Super Bowl, and we will be covering it as part of 602 Sports Talk. So definitely check it out. The game starts at 6 p.m. It will be televised live on Fox Sports, and we will be tweeting updates if you can't catch it on TV, and also be writing an article. Also Monday, we are very, very excited to have our second 602 Sports Talk show up in Chandler. We will have the East Mesa Bandits, two teams, I believe the 8U and the 14U team there, and that's going to be a great show. So definitely check us out Monday. You have to watch that on the 602 Sports Talk Facebook page, not the 520 Sports Talk page. So if you haven't downloaded it and liked that page, please do so.
Thank you. Welcome, guys. Well, we got the cream of the crop here that makes it happen, what everybody's coming to see. So what I'd like you to do is just say your name and your weight class, and then we'll get it rolling from there. So we'll start with you.
And where you train at?
Andrew Gavlik. I am fighting at 165 in the Muay Thai fights, and I train out of Rise Combat Sports.
Okay.
Everybody look at the camera over here.
I'm Sean Huff. I'm a black belt. I'm the owner of Northside BJJ. Here to support my fighter, Brian Scambler. Currently ranked 5th in the world.
All right.
I'm Brian Scambler. I'm fighting at 170. Train at Northside Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
How's it going, guys? I'm Gabe Cordova. I train out of Shark Sports Inverse. I fight Brazilian Jiu Jitsu at 145.
My name is Emerson Morris. I'm a gray belt. I'm fighting at 105. I'm fighting at 105, and I train out of Inverse as well.
Since you're a trainer of these guys, I got a question for you. What is the weight? Are they 5 pounds apart, or because he said 165 and he said 170? I mean, how far apart are the weight classes?
I think it just depends on what you decide and what kind of the matchmaking decides. You know, we want to get somewhat close, but some people are bigger than others, obviously. Some people can cut more weight than others. If you come from a traditional jiu-jitsu background, you're probably not a great weight cutter, so you want to be close to something that you're walking around at, where if you're somebody that comes from a long-time wrestling background, you're going to be able to cut 15, 20 pounds and it's not going to kill your performance.
Right. So there's no specific weight classes? It's just kind of...
I think she just implemented, I think that Rise just implemented a specific weight class with belts and everything, but it usually depends on, you know, like he should be fighting 54, but this one will be at 70. So it's like a little bit out of his range, but we didn't really want to cut weight right now because we have Master Worlds coming up, which is going to be cutting a lot more weight for.
Okay.
And he's stand-up, and are you doing Nogi? Yeah, so he's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and he's doing Muay Thai. So the weight classes are different, and depending on where you're competing, because you compete in California a lot, you travel to compete. So when you go into different tournaments, especially if you're doing like Pan Ams or America, go ahead and explain that.
So for American Nationals, I competed at middleweight, which is 175 and then 181.
Gotcha.
In December, I competed at lightweight at the World Championships, and I competed at 167. So that's the different weight brackets.
Okay.
So
Tell the world a little bit about your history in competing, or whatever you want to share on any titles. Recently, I know I follow you on social media. We're friends, so I get to see these. But
So most recently, I just won U.S. American Nationals at blue belt in Nogi. And I took second in the absolute, which is all the weight classes. I also took second in gi for middleweight as well. I just won the world championships last year in blue belt in Nogi, and right now I'm currently ranked 5th in the world in Nogi. So.
Congratulations, that's huge.
Out of 8 billion people, number 5. I like it. That's what I'm talking about. How about yourself, sir?
I'm not ranked number 5 in the world. Doing the Muay Thai is so much fun. This is going to be my 5th fight. I started doing this about 6 years ago just to lose weight, and got thrown into a fight, shortly after, and it's a great time. Training for it, dedicating myself and going through it is one of the hardest things you can do. And then, once you achieve that and get past it, it's a phenomenal feeling. Yeah.
What about your prep? So I'm not familiar with stand-up. Is it a certain length of time on average?
I mean, the prep is to go into your fight camp, which is typically 2 months before your fight, which, cut out all the good food, cut out all the booze, start running like there's no tomorrow. And just kind of hitting the grind, running, training every day, and getting that mindset, because it's 90% mental. You got to know that you're going to do a great thing, and the hard work pays off. So
yeah, a lot of people don't understand that almost every sport is 90% mental, but they just assume because you're doing something physical that the most important thing is the physical aspects of it, and it's not. Dealing with somebody punching you in the face or something like that is a tremendous mental strain on you, more so than physical, because the body can take a hell of a lot, as we all know.
Yeah.
And now with you, cutting the weight is no big problem, because you probably wrestled in high school and things like that, so it's not been an issue. What is the hardest part about what you do now?
Staying healthy, like not being hurt. That's my biggest problem. That's about it. I'm good right now, so we should go into this pretty good.
Is this your walking around weight?
Yeah.
Oh, so that
I mean, I put on some weight for American Nationals, lifting and stuff like that. But this is what I walk around at right now.
So that helps, being able to fight at your own weight. Where you're walking around, I know that helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I feel strong here, but when I go back down for Master Worlds, I'm gonna be a little bit tired, but I'm used to it from wrestling. I wrestled for a very long time.
Right.
So.
All right, now we got the young buck over here too. My man, what got you into such a violent, exciting sport?
What mainly got me into jiu-jitsu was I just kind of walked past the jiu-jitsu gym and I was like, oh, that might be fun. And the reason I stuck with it is because it's more like a problem, and I like solving problems, and there's always more to learn from it.
So it wasn't that somebody beat you up and you just wanted to get revenge or something like that?
No,
that's an exciting story, so next time, say that. You were walking and you got jumped by 6 people, and you won, and you didn't know what you were doing. You see?
Yeah.
It just sounds more exciting. How about you? What got you involved in it?
I started training, I think, 2006. I got my first little taste of jiu-jitsu. 2 years later, I ended up going into the military, and I got to train with a lot of their combative program and their team down there. When I got out of the military, I joined up an academy down here. I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. I've been doing it ever since. That's about it. The rest is history. I just love doing it. It's a real big mental test for me.
Yeah.
Congratulations on he just got promoted to a purple belt, so congratulations on that promotion right there. I have a question. So oftentimes people quit jiu-jitsu once they hit that blue belt, right? They kind of just go out. Tell me a little bit about the process of working through the blue belt and maybe, getting to that next level.
To me, like these guys said, it's all mental. If I can mentally tell myself that I can consistently stick to something, I'm going to do it. So for myself, I take my top 5 priorities of the day, and if I'm not putting something towards those top 5 priorities of my day, then I'm kind of just wasting my time. So staying consistent, really joining jiu-jitsu, and really understanding that you do love it. If you love it, you're going to stick with it. So you truly have to have a love for it, whether it be jiu-jitsu, baseball, basketball. Having love, making it your passion, that's what it's all about. So I think that has to do a lot with consistency.
So being a local gym owner, that's very accessible to weights and your prep. So tell me a little bit about what you've been doing to prepare for this match.
I keep it very simple when it comes to preparation. I usually don't go 10 pounds above my weight just because I do jiu-jitsu. Me and my brother, we own Shark Sports, and we deal a lot with macro counting. So really, whenever any of these guys lose weight, they're basically just going into a caloric deficit. No matter how you look at it, it's a caloric deficit. That's how you lose weight scientifically. So for us, I have a caloric surplus, I have a caloric deficit, and it's different for all of us. So there's a certain amount of calories each of these guys have to take in to either gain or lose. So controlling the variables of knowing how many calories, proteins, fats, carbs that I take in is how I determine how I lose weight. It sounds very, very intricate, but it's very, very easy. And it's been working for me a substantial amount. I want to lose this weight as slow as possible, the right way, so I don't go in malnourished, so I am energized for these fights, and I can give my best performance that I can up there.
Well, it does sound pretty intricate.
That was really fast. Yeah, that was
but
a crash
I
course.
know what you're saying, and just when you get past 40, 50, it just comes off a little bit slower.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Regardless of how hard you train, it just French fries and me have a relationship.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So that's my problem.
Yes.
There are other stuff I can stay away from, but me and French fries we've been seeing each other for quite some time.
I don't think it's really even the French fries, and I don't think there's really necessarily a way that you can put a bad food label on something. It's more so moderation. I can do too much and hurt myself. I can do too little and not do enough. So finding that perfect median of, all right, maybe he needs to push a little harder, maybe I need to push a little less. We're all different, and we just need to find that moderation in our lives to be able to get us to the point to wherever it is that we're trying to get. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, a wheelbarrow full of fries is still a lot.
I love fries myself.
So,
we'll have some fries after this.
We're going to do a little something.
All right, my man.
I definitely want to mention how you hold the open mat. You've trained over at his gym as well. I don't know if anyone else has made it over there to do the open mats, but it's really cool that you allow the community to come in and train together and just get better together.
Yes, I try to keep a real ego-free, real politic-free gym. I really believe in everyone kind of helping each other. When all of us go, we may be from different teams, but when we compete in Vegas, it's Tucson versus everybody, Arizona versus everyone. So when we can really find a place that we can come together and just, work hard and train, we're putting our town on the map, we're putting our state on the map. And I think that's really important to keep that friendship between all of us. We all bring something to the table, and if we can put that together, which is, it can be hard sometimes with the politics, but at the end of the day, represent your team, represent your camp, but realize we're all in this together. We're all trying to be better.
Sean, you're the godfather. You're the professor here. You got to share a little light about how long you have been doing jiu-jitsu, what got you into it, what keeps you into it, because that's a big task to take on to own a gym.
Actually, my story's kind of funny. A long time ago, about 21 years ago, I walked on at U of A to play football, and I was very football oriented and focused, and just kind of lost my love for football. And then I found this little old man named Steve Owens who was teaching judo at the time, and I totally was immersed into martial arts and fell in love with it. And for a long time I trained at that school for 6.5 years, got my black belt, and then I went and started doing just traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I was a blue belt for 5 years, and then a brown belt for 1 month shy of 5 years, and then tomorrow I get my first degree in my black from Oswaldo Mozinho. So it's been a long road for
Congratulations.
Sure for me. Thank you.
What position did you play in football?
Defensive back.
DB?
DB.
Oh, God.
Defense.
I'll tell you what, I was in the offensive line and I saw a guy get his head practically decapitated, and I went from the offensive line, wide receiver, to the DB line, and I was like, forget that. Day one.
Men play offense.
Yeah, they get their head taken off too.
Not if they're good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not
Sooner or later.
Defensive people get the same thing. But I understand. There's nothing like competitive sports.
For sure.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it. So the reason why I keep going back to you is because I did wrestle for 2 years when I was in high school. That was the hardest shit in the history of the world. And when I watch boxing, I understand. So boxing and MMA and all this kind of stuff is by far the hardest training there is. Football, you get a lot of breaks. Baseball, you get a lot of breaks. Basketball, not so much. But what drew you into this particular sport?
Well, actually, my mom got me into wrestling when I was 4. So, because I was a really hyper kid. And I loved it, and I stuck with it. I wrestled for 25 years.
Are you from Tucson?
No, I'm from Chula Vista, California.
Oh, okay.
I went to Grand Canyon University and then moved down to Tucson after that.
Okay.
If you can wrestle, if you actually put your heart and soul into wrestling, you can accomplish anything in life. Like, nothing is really too hard.
No, you're right, but I was a little bit better football player than I was wrestler, and I knew that. So I just kind of...
Well, wrestling also helps with football. It helps with your balance, your body awareness, all that.
It helped you all right. But I couldn't afford to keep losing that weight, man. It was just too much on me. It was tough. But it's a great... I really respect the training that wrestlers and boxers go through. It's phenomenal.
So I do want to mention this is one of the only platforms, correct, that you can get a stand-up fight is Rise of the Prospects. So how much do you appreciate the fact that they hold these shows?
It's amazing. I mean, I have fought in Phoenix for my first Muay Thai fight, and then to have it right here in town, to have the hometown support, and to be able to have family, friends there, and like they were talking about it's Tucson versus the world. For our camps and our gym, we have people coming in from other Tucson gyms to help us spar, get prepared, and it's just great. Always kind of sharpening the tools, seeing different looks, but just having us here in Tucson is amazing. So Jen and Chris did a great job.
Awesome. Good luck, everyone. We appreciate you coming up here.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. DB. All right, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, big time.
Thanks, fellas. All right, so we're going to get the next group up here. That was great. You guys did great. Very informative and very descriptive on the nuances of this type of sport. So we're glad to have this, these athletes with us.
Do we have any questions on the screen or anything?
Not yet. Everybody's just watching and listening.
Let's get some questions going. Like it.
No, you're speaking to this glass. So, what we'd like to do is start out with your name, what is it called? Your style? Is that what it's called?
If you're doing stand-up or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. And how long you've been doing it?
My name's Art Theus. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission grappling. Been doing it like on and off for about 5 years now.
Okay. How about you?
Do I say my name?
Yep.
How would we know who you are?
My name is Kalen Matthews. I've done this for three years now.
Nice.
And I'm more of a, like, if the person wants to wrestle, like, I'll wrestle, but if they want to be on the ground, I'll be on my back, I'll be on top, you know what I mean? I don't care where I am, I'm confident everywhere I am.
Do you do stand-up or Jiu-Jitsu?
I do Jiu-Jitsu, but I do wrestling too, so I do both.
Okay.
So.
We've got a question. What is 2 plus 2?
4?
What is 2 plus 2?
4. My name is Natalie Posada, and I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been doing it for 8 years now, and yeah.
What belt are you?
I'm an orange belt.
Good for you.
My name is Dominic Rodriguez. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years.
And what gym do you train at?
De Brazil Jiu-Jitsu. Natalia too.
So what drew you to this sport compared to baseball or track or football? What drew you to this sport?
I actually used to fight when I first started participating in MMA, and then after a while I took a little too many injuries and had to lay off on it for a bit, so I decided to gravitate more towards no-gi submission grappling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Gotcha. How about you?
I wanted to do it because I was really small when I first started. I was super small and I was really skinny, and I saw the Ronda Rousey and the Holly Holm fight, and I was like, damn, I really want to do that, you know what I mean? I really want to be able to fight and everything, and I went into the sport wanting to do MMA, and then I just fell in love with more jiu-jitsu and more ground fighting, you know what I mean, more than striking. So that's why.
Where do you train?
I train at the USC gym.
You know, that's very interesting what you said, that you watch two women perform, and that made you want to get into it. That's extremely interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, when I started, I didn't even hit puberty. I was like 4'11". I think I was like 80 pounds. You know what I mean? I was super small, and then I was like, I really want to learn, you know, like how to fight and everything. I don't know why, and I just watched. I saw like the big controversy, like the big fight of Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, and I was like, damn, that shit's like really interesting. You know what I mean? And I was like, I really want to start doing that because like if these two girls can do it, and how like she like got head kicked and everything, I was like, damn, that's like super cool. You know what I mean? Like I really want to learn it, and I just looked up gyms near me, and I was like, UFC gym. Like I want to be a UFC fighter. Why don't I train at a UFC gym? You know what I mean? And I just fell in love ever since.
Okay. How about you? What got you involved in it?
I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ever since I could remember. Like my dad, I would always like see him training, and like I asked him, he was like, no, you're too small. But when I was 7, he finally put me into it, and like from there I would cry all the time. I was like, no, I don't want to do it, because like I would like get hurt like by other kids, and I was like, no, I don't want to get beat up. But then like as I grew up, I was like, I love the thrill of fighting, and like I want to win and I want to be the best. So I just kept doing it, and yeah.
So do you take pleasure in beating boys up?
Yeah.
As you should. As you should.
You're over here nodding, so has she got you a time or two?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. When I first started out, she was always beating me up. I got introduced to this sport actually by my baseball coach. I was playing baseball since I was about 5, and I actually had to make the decision whether to go to college for baseball. I had 4 or 5 scholarships, but I decided to stay here at the U of A and continue in jiu-jitsu.
What motivated you to take a match for this upcoming show?
I was in wrestling as well. I wrestled in high school, and I just loved it. I love competing. I love that adrenaline rush, and right as soon as this fight popped up, I took it as soon as I can.
I would like to hear your motivation behind it. Is this something that you do often?
I know I love competing. Like I love like when I go to training camps, and I know that like I put all like my heart and soul into training. And so, like, when I fight, you know, like, I put all that hard work out there to let people see, to inspire other girls, like, for them to be like, because there's this girl at my school, and her name is Gabby, and, like, I look up to her, and I want other girls to look up to me and be like, hey, she's badass, she works, you know, like, works out and stuff, you know? That's my
awesome.
motivation.
Not the traditional female things, that frilly stuff, you know. Yeah, let's go out there and kick somebody's ass and feel good about ourselves.
Exactly.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. Yeah.
What was the question?
Is this one of your first participation in the show, or is this something that you've done in the past?
So this is my first super fight in this company for Rise of the Prospects. I've had 3 in like different affiliations, you know, before, but this is my first one on the Rise of the Prospects. My teammate actually went against this kid on the same Rise of the Prospects. It was last Rise of the Prospects. He went against this kid, and so
that's gonna be a good time then.
yeah, I've actually gone against him before, like at a tournament. You know what I mean? So this is like a rematch. This is the second time.
Are you doing gi or no gi?
It's a no-gi fight.
Okay, awesome, great. And do you do gi or no gi?
Oh, I go no gi is what I prefer. I gotta rock those Valley Tudos. Get a custom rash guard every now and then. Start flexing on people.
Yeah.
Does your hair interfere? I mean, can somebody pull your hair? Can you do that? Is that
no? Hair pulling isn't legal, but every now and then for a match, I gotta throw in the battle braids. You know, make sure that thing's locked down. Only has to last a couple of minutes. So.
You know, I wasn't trying to be cute. I just didn't know, so that's why I asked you.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, because in football, if your hair comes out of your helmet, you can tackle them by their hair. Yeah.
Lucky for me, it's not really an option for people.
There you go. All right.
That's
so,
crazy.
what is the best part of this sport to you?
The best part of this sport to me is probably how many people gets to affect in a positive way. I'm sitting here at a table with everyone who could probably agree with me on that one. If it wasn't for this sport, we'd probably be doing something a lot different, probably be getting into trouble. I don't know about you guys. I did.
Sports can do that. Keep you out of trouble. That's true. How about you? What is the best part about this sport to you?
The best part of this sport is I can, just like learning, meeting a lot of different people and just like connecting to the jiu-jitsu world and how people love the sport, and you meet somebody who has the same passion as you, and like how dedicated people are, you know what I mean? Like I know people that train every day and they're just so dedicated to the sport, and also you know how to defend yourself, you know what I mean? Like if somebody can attack you, you know what I mean? You know exactly how to defend yourself. Like I just feel like it's better than like just regular self-defense classes, because they don't like in the real world, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff can happen, and if you're just walking by yourself, you know what I mean, like late at night and someone tries to jump you or something like that, you can always have you know how to defend yourself, you know how to properly do it, against an actual opponent.
Right.
I have a question for you. What is your walkout song and why?
Middle Child by J. Cole, because I like what he says in the lyrics that I chose out, because when I go in, all I think about is all the hard work that I put in, thinking I always think when I'm training that the person might be better than me, and that pushes me harder to train, so that when I go out, I'll beat her up. Yeah.
Do you get nervous before fights, or is it more just the adrenaline, or do you have a certain prep before maybe 30 minutes before you go on that just kind of balances you out?
When I first started, I did get a little bit nervous, but now I've been able to start to control it, so it just gets more exciting after every match that I go on to.
That's awesome. I get so nervous that I don't even remember the match.
Yeah.
So, but
that's very interesting. My thing is that, do you cut a lot of weight? Do you gain a lot of weight? Do you fight the weight you are? How do you go about that?
It depends, because this weekend they asked me to move about 25 pounds to fight a girl who weighs 145 in Las Vegas. So I'm just I don't know. It depends.
That doesn't sound right. Go up 25 pounds. I can see 5'10".
But it's all about the technique, I'm trying not to use my strength unless I really need to. If I have better technique than her, then I'll tap her out. But it helps sometimes when you are stronger. But I cut weight sometimes when I have to. Yeah.
So where are you at right now?
I'm at 125 right now.
Is that a good weight for you?
Yeah, I don't have to cut any, so I'm good.
Dominic Rodriguez.
I just want to give a shout out to my pops sitting over there at the table watching.
So you said you've been doing this on and off for 5 years. What else do you do?
I have a day job helping out a family business, so that usually takes a lot of my time. I try to get it to where I can train as much as possible, and to be honest with you, I see myself throughout the day getting the itch, because like I mentioned earlier, there's those homies you make where you want to be see them at the end of the day, be like, yo, I just got done with a stressful time, let's do this, and you just kind of vent, unwind, relax a little bit.
Okay. Did you play any other sports in high school or anything, or just?
I did play basketball for a little bit, but since I'm only 5'6", 5'7", it didn't really, it wasn't that easy. So by the time I got into high school, I kind of stopped doing that, and I just focus on jiu-jitsu mainly. I don't really do any more sports now.
There's nothing wrong with focusing. Do you play any other sports?
Yeah, I did basketball for my middle school, but then my parents you need to choose one, because if you want to dedicate yourself to one sport, you need to put all your focus into it. So I chose jiu-jitsu, and I've been training it ever since.
All right, how about you?
Yes, I played baseball and wrestling in high school. So I've been doing sports for as long as I can remember.
I take it this is everybody's favorite sport now?
In jiu-jitsu, you really are training, correct me if I'm wrong, several times out of the week, if not any time your academy's open.
Yeah, it's a very disciplined sport. Some sports, it's muscle, a lot of muscle memory. So if you shoot a free throw the same every time, you can take a long time off, come back, and if you shoot it the same, you'll make the basket. This is much more disciplined type of sports, because if you're not in somewhat good shape, you're going to have a problem. Whatever, technique or not, I mean, because those are long minutes. Long, grueling minutes. So, I have a lot of respect for the sport.
What type of music do you listen to leading up to hitting the stage, if any music?
Girly pop. Usually, I know it's a little weird, but I'll pop in there with some Carly Rae Jepsen. Every now and then, some like Bebe Rexha, things like that. Sia, gotta love me some Chandelier. So.
What about you?
If I'm ever listening to music, I listen to hype music. You know what I mean? Because like, whenever I'm before a match, and if I'm ever like nervous, you know what I mean, or I'm like really pumped up for the match, I like to listen to music that gets me in like that mood. And whenever I'm in that mood, I start getting my like flow. When I get in my flow, I feel like that's when I'm at my best. And that's when I'm like, I feel like, you know what I mean, I'm the best when I'm getting that flow and I start to go. And all it leads up is before the fight. You know, I like to have my teammate pumps me up, and I listen to music that pumps me up. And when I get hyped, that's when I get in the groove, and that's when I get, that's when I feel like I get better.
That's awesome. What about you?
Like the same thing, like hype me up music and like whatever pops up on Pandora, and like I'll just start dancing before I fight, because it just helps me relax, not to be so tense. And yeah.
I mostly listen to old school rap because I don't know, I just like what they say, and it just puts me in a good mood.
Did you say hardcore rap?
Old school rap.
Oh, I was about to say, you like what they say. That's interesting. Yeah, something from like 2010 or something. Wow. No Earth, Wind and Fire, Gap Band.
They don't know who that is.
Oh, man. I'm trying to help you guys get on a winning streak.
Do you have any national competitions that you're thinking of entering in the near future, in the next 6 months or so? What?
Well, I was going to do Nogi Pans in New York, but like financial situations, you know what I mean, it's a lot harder to do, so I'm doing the Abu Dhabi qualifiers in California that weekend, and then in Anaheim I'm doing Nogi Worlds.
I'm planning to do the Pan on Kids next year, because I went this year and like I didn't perform my best. I was kind of being like lazy because I'm like cocky. I'm like, no, I got this. And when I went there, I got my ass beat. So like I'm gonna come back, train harder, and I'm just gonna beat them up.
Good for you.
I don't have nothing lined up right now, but I'll be ready for whatever comes up.
So if you guys have social media, can you say your social media where anyone can go ahead and buy tickets to support you and to the show, The Rise of Prospect?
My Instagram is at Rodriguez_329.
Natalie Posada. That's my Instagram.
Kalen BJJ. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not on social media, so you guys can just come down to Rise Combat Sports on Tanque Verde, Sabino Canyon. Come pick up tickets from Art.
You can also give your phone number out to all your fans out there.
Yes.
Not.
What hours is your academy open for them to come stop by to pick up tickets?
Anytime, 4:30 to like 8:30. That totally works.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for coming up here and
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
competing.
All right, big time. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, bro.
Nice to meet you. And good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you guys. This was a great show, a great turnout, a lot bigger turnout than we happened to anticipate, which is great. It just shows that people want to know about this sport. People want to know the nuances of it. And 520 Sports Talk, with what our platform is, and getting athletes and athletics and sports that not normally are covered by the mainstream media on our show. So we thank you for that. Just a couple of quick program notes. Monday, our second 602 Sports Talk show, the Arizona Bandits 16U Club Softball out of East Mesa. We're going to be at the Copper Still Moonshine Grill at 7450 West Chandler Boulevard. It's right off the 10 and Chandler Boulevard, so it's only for about an hour from Continental Ranch in Marana. So if you want to come up, we'd love to have you with us. Tuesday, the next night, we're back down here here at Frog and Firkin, we have the Tucson Scramblers 16U and 18U team. We're really looking forward to that. Bruno Gonzalez, for the head coach of Desert View Softball and a personal friend of mine, is going to bring his teams in. It'll be the first time on our show for them, so we're very, very excited about that. And then to end our week next week, Ray Camacho, a assistant coach for the University of Arizona women's softball team under Mike Candrea, will bring his Royals 04 team in. So that's the 15 or 16U team in at Frog and Firkin here at Main Gate Square off of Tyndall and University. So that's the lineup for next week. Like I said, we're going to be Saturday. We are going to be in Glendale for the United Bowl, the Indoor Football League Championship, with the Arizona Rattlers versus the Iowa Barnstormers. Iowa is the defending league champ from last year, so we all want to root for the Arizona Rattlers. I want to thank Brittney and Brittney Palma for helping us out tonight. There's Brittney's kids. We love them. David Adams, as always, stellar job, and we really appreciate it. Pearson Sturdivance in Hawaii, our producer, he'll be back sometime next week, and he will definitely take over the producing job. So we want to thank you guys all again for watching it. Thanks to Rise Combat Sports and Rise of the Prospects. Make sure you go and check them out on July 27th at the Rialto Theater. Thank you, everybody. 520 Sports Talk, Tucson Sports with a twist, and it's a wrap.